Hello and welcome to today's LOL Esports Round Up, where we cover the LPL Loser Finals preview. That's all we got. I am going to add a little bit about the Discord Hall of Fame thing that I've been doing over the last couple months, otherwise known as The Project, for some people that may have missed that I began this and are not on the Discord, and we'll talk about that briefly. But first and foremost, LPL sneak peek. So LNG, BLG. LNG are 5th in the power rankings at 12-4. BLG 2nd at 15-1. When they played only not even a month ago, I would say, BLG won 2-0. Bin dominated, going 16-0-2, 28% of damage in top lane. Zika 4-7-9, 24% of damage opposite of him. We look at this past week, LNG nearly beat JDG, losing in Game 5 in position to win some of the games that they did lose against JDG in that 3-2 loss. BLG got smoke showed yesterday, 3-0 by JDG. Now, we have to think about this. BLG only losing to JDG lately. Actually, like the last 4 months, the only team they lose to is JDG. Where LNG do stumble against some teams. They have lost 4 times this year. 5 times now. Well, not year. Jesus. This split 5 times now after losing to JDG. So, how do you want to really view it, right? In my opinion, I think top lane is BLG favored. I think that the jungle's a wash. Mid lane, LNG favored. Bot lane, I would say bot laner, AD carry would go to BLG, but support goes to LNG. So I think it'll actually be pretty close. I know in the Discord we have a lot of predictions of a 5-game series. I think that is fair. We'll see what happens. My predictions are in the members only tier. I had somebody comment last week, or not even a few days ago, wondering what my prediction was for G2XL. You got to pay for that content because people pay for it, so I can't give you my prediction for free. Now, for those that are interested in the Discord, we've been doing a Hall of Fame thing. The 7th class was officially announced yesterday. There are restrictions to this. Players on the ballot have to be out of organized leagues. So that means whether it's, for instance, academy leagues, world's qualifying leagues, even collegiate, I would say. Those players are still active, in my opinion. If they're playing solo queue and streaming, I don't consider them an active pro player anymore. And after 2 years, they're eligible for the ballot. The players up here are, I think, 60 names, should be 60 names, of the players that are currently on the ballot. We have some people that think that the players aren't worthy of that, a Hall of Fame. In my opinion, the way I look at a Hall of Fame, especially early on in a sport, esport, music, it doesn't matter, whatever the Hall of Fame is for, people learn, people get better. The modern day pros would beat a lot of the other pros from many years ago. And there is also something to be said that the pros many years ago are still not playing today where some are because they weren't super great, right? But I think that there is a case to be made for some players on this list that don't get enough attention. Former world champions, players that had success domestically. I did treat minor regions domestic success equal to major region domestic success. The difference coming in international success, that is where team players would get boosts versus team players that struggled. I think a player, for instance, like Saya, who just retired, who won't be on the ballot until 2 years from now. Right now I'm doing a ballot every 2 weeks, and then once I get to season 13, which is the end of this year, I'm going to have anybody that stopped playing after summer 2021. Before summer 2021 was the last split for a player. Anybody from that would be the top 60 players, in my opinion. Not in my opinion, based off of the research I did and am still doing because it is a moving target. They end up on the ballot. So right now, these are the top 60 players in Hall of Fame points that I determined doing all the research I did over the last year prior to doing this. I'm over explaining it because I think people disrespect it. I think that a lot of these players laid the groundwork for those that are playing now, and I think if you don't know that, then that's fine. I don't want you to necessarily participate in this if you do not respect every region. I understand that obviously Korea and China have been dominant over the entirety pretty much of league history, but there are some PCS teams that have done well. There are some LEC teams that have done well. There have been some LCS runs not winning in international events, but decent runs, right? And I think you need to give respect to everybody. Like I said, a player like Seiya who won so many domestic titles, I think that you do need to give them their flowers. So we're going to just quickly go over this. Right now, the ballot from Korea, I have Piglet, Rainover, Gimgoon, Spirit, Lustboy, Ben, Dade, Ryu, Pumandu, Shy, Expect, Watch, and Insect on the ballot. From China, I have Coral, or Coro L, I don't know, Coro 1, Coral, Let Me, Santa, otherwise known as Cool, 957, Condi, Aaron, who is the only coach on the board right now, ZZ Tai, and Going. From the LEC, we have 4, Shushay, Melisson, Wicked, and Nif. LCS, X Special, Lemonation, Reggie, Reginald when he was a player, Balls, Poe Belter, The Odd One, and Elements. If a player, thinking of Poe Belter, if a player returns to pro play, they are removed from the ballot. If a player that I list has played in the last 2 years, so that means since if they played in summer 2021 and beyond, then I take them off the board and we just go to the next player. There's plenty of players on the list. Once I get to the end of the year, there are at least 9 players right now that are better than the worst player on this board that will be eligible come that time. But I do not want an Uzi or a double lift situation where a player has had a very, very good career, would end up being Hall of Fame worthy. Obviously, Uzi's better than double lift, but you get my point. And a player comes back, and then, I'm not going to deal with that. So, PCS, Southeast Asia, VCS, I'm going to combine them for this, board. Mr. Albies, Mountain, Zeros, MMD, Stanley, Optimus, NL, Archie, Mistake, Boss Blurry, otherwise known as Lloyd, and Chowie as a player. TCL, Turkey no longer is a region considered in my Hall of Fame points gathering when it comes to TCL. Turkish players that are elsewhere, if you're in a Worlds qualifying region at a level where if you win this league, you go to Worlds, you still get Hall of Fame points. So if TCL in ERLs, I do not count academy success or minor, success like that, because not every region has the equal opportunities, and I want to keep it as fair as possible. So TCL, the Turkish players, Naru, Thaldrin, and Crystal. From Russia, similar situation, Genja and Darien, CB Lull, so Brazil, Revolta, Yang, and Kami. Latin America, Genthix, Giral, and Archie. Japan, Dara. And then Oceania, so Australia, we have Swiper, Swiffer, Spooks, and Radier. So those are the current names on the ballot. There are the rules and how many players you pick are on the Discord if you'd like to join the Discord. Every player that's on here, including the players that have already been selected to the Hall of Fame, do not complain about who's already in the Hall of Fame, because I have been going over this sporadically over the last couple months. And if you missed it or you chose not to participate, just shut the fuck up if you don't like who's on there. However, you pick 15 of these names, the top 15 that get votes, we go down to the top 6, and that's who gets in the Hall of Fame. This is not a fan vote, so please, I'm looking at you, Brazil. This isn't a fan vote. This is a who is the best players vote, right? So we don't just pick who we think is our favorite player or our regional player. We pick who we think is the best player. And in the player discussions area, you will be able to choose, actually not choose, but in the player discussion area, you are more than allowed to make your case for an opinion of a player. Please only positive opinions and highlight videos, things like that. Do not hesitate, because I believe a lot of people do not know some of the players on this list because they've just become league fans recently, and that's a big reason why I want to do this as well. And it educates people on the history of the sport, esport, and I think that's important. So yeah, that was a long deal. If you stuck with me, thank you for being thank you for sticking with me. Join the Discord to participate in this if this intrigued you. Follow me on Twitter. Become a subscriber to the channel. Like the video. Become a YouTube member. And thank you for watching.